Eddie Anders is my guest. The name of the book is Waking Up Dead, a true story of suicide, divine intervention. We're going to talk about that, and life transformed. So, Eddie, you call home and you have no idea why?
No, I don't even remember it. They said I called to tell Nancy bye. You have to understand the staff from the church was already there. They were meeting about that morning about my memorial service with Nancy because they thought now that it was just a matter of finding me. In the middle of that meeting, I called home. And there had been 50 to 100 people staying with Nancy and the kids at the house through this whole ordeal. So Nancy actually answered her phone that time. Everybody had been answering it for her. She answered it, and I said her name, and the whole place erupted, you know. So the bottom line is they figured out where I was. I finally told them. Again, I don't remember any of this. They kept me on the phone for 45 minutes till the police arrived at the door. And the only thing I remember about that morning was looking through the peephole of the hotel room door and seeing a badge. And the other thing was the sound of the siren in the ambulance and feeling, just looking down my body being constrained. I don't know what, I don't know what all it meant, but I get to the hospital. The only thing I remember is by the time they got there, it was Saturday night, and that's when I really began to remember things now. And even there, they jumping into bed on top of me, hugging me, kissing me, my wife and kids, and all that kind of stuff. And then I'm still miserable.
I was going to say, what was your state of mind at that point?
I was embarrassed. I thought, now what am I going to do? I was the same thing because I'd spent all those years basically cursing my own life. And what I mean by that is, for example, in the hospital, you idiot. You can't even, how can you take all that and not kill yourself?
So the self-loathing continued?
Oh yeah, I was still self-loathing. Now I was really in trouble. How am I going to provide for my family? Nobody's going to touch me. We all know. I mean, it was crazy. I was looking at 28 days in a mental health institute. I mean, it was just a mess. And I thought, what? And so I would go through Saturday night, didn't sleep at all, go through Sunday morning, all through Sunday afternoon, and then I'm channel surfing on Christian television.
Yeah, I love this story because a pretty well-known preacher came on the TV, T.D. Jakes.
It was amazing. I'm just channel surfing. Kids are down getting something to eat in the cafeteria. Nancy's on the bed beside me. And of course, I'm chained to a nurse who's like from me to you because I'm on suicide watch. And she had been pretty, non-responsive, so to be. She's just kind of sitting there and having to spend her weekend watching this guy that tried to take his life. I'm channel surfing in that scenario, boom, T.D. Jakes. And the moment I hit T.D. Jakes, he says, and everybody in the room heard it, and I've got the DVD of it, the spirit of suicide is on you, and if God hadn't rescued you, you'd be dead right now. And that was in the context of a message he was preaching about the power of the blood of Christ and overcoming depression. And boom! So it was in that 30 minutes around that show and what he spoke and how I responded to it, I wept from a place that I can't even describe. I felt the presence of God, the anointing of the Lord come on me like I hadn't felt at that point in years.
And you describe it as it was like a hose or something went into your head?
Yeah, flushing me out.
So, and I will only get just a couple of moments. You got to get the book, folks. It's amazing. But how, so the Lord does something miraculous. Now you're doing ministry, you're helping people. Right. You're better than you've ever been.
Yeah. Well, I tell people that I took my own life and God gave it back to me. And He reinvented my life on the foundation of this is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. And when I did inventory, the Lord took me through. He says, we're going to rewire you. We're not trying to get you to the old guy. We're going to make you a new one. So I'm the living, breathing textbook definition of a new creation. And God reinvented my life, and things that had become cliche and trivial and trite to me because I had become so cynical because of all I'd been through, He reawakened all that in me and reinvented me completely. And so I waited 10 years to put this out because I wanted longevity of what God had done.
Right, yeah.
I didn't want it to be, oh, that's all well and good, but we'll see how it turns out. It's proven to have been a long-standing, ongoing miracle. And now I feel like God's called me to reach out to people the rest of my life. And I've got friends around me that are helping me do it, like you guys now, to share that there is hope and that there is a God who cares about you, even on your worst day. And even when you don't even, He loves you when you don't love yourself.
Isn't that true? Eddie, I wish we had more time, but I thank you.
Thank you.
And I think you just whet the appetite. It's a great read. You're very brutally honest, which I appreciate, and the storytelling is great. And you're a miracle.
Yeah.
And you know, as you're watching today, maybe you're dealing with depression, maybe you're even having suicidal thoughts. Recently, we had several people call that were on the verge of taking their lives, and called, and like Eddie, are still walking around, and the Lord is still working. So please call us. Our prayer lines are always available to you. 1-866-273-4444. We'll be right back.